All right, on the left side of your screen, we have Dreadnought. I'm not really aware of what's in this list. We'll find out together. That would be Audrey. And on the right, we have joining us again, Jack on Demir. I believe it's just Demir Tempo. Maybe we'll see the frog. I don't know.
I'll play.
Dr. Pepper, thank you for the resub, though. 15 months. Undercity Sewer dumps a Surveil into the graveyard.
I think so. It should be.
That's a Flitted Strand crack to start. Salty says Audrey is probably my favorite player to watch from stream. Very cool. You know, we do have some crowd favorites. That's just kind of how it works out. Audrey definitely one of them. Voodoo Games, thank you for the resold Prime 9 months. What's the baby's name? Yeah, maybe it'll be the frog.
Yeah.
Thoughtseize, okay. It's getting dazed. Didn't really expect a Thoughtseize there. Savior, thank you for the resub. 35 months with Prime.
Yeah, that's nothing to do with the one you had now.
Is that on top pester?
Wasteland?
You have no idea.
I just saw Dreadnought get drawn there. Here's a Brainstorm. Gizlo, thank you for the resub with Prime. 35 months.
Yes.
You know, I do have my favorites to watch as well. Audrey definitely makes the list. One of the reason Audrey switches decks, like some of the people that play on stream, and look, this is Legacy. I understand the cards are expensive. I don't expect people to switch decks, but Audrey switches decks, so it makes it more fun.
Yeah, I'm just making sure I remember that.
That is a Torpor Orb.
We're gonna force pitching
Force pitching Murktide, and on the other side, force pitching Dress Down. Won't need the Dress Down if Torpor Orb. Ooh, another force pitching Ponder from Jack, and a fight over Torpor Orb. Torpor Orb down, and possibly 2 tools to make a Dreadnought. Thrown away here by Audrey. On the stack, we had that force to protect, but a second force from Jack. Here's a Thoughtseize from Jack now. Double Fatal Push, and was that stock up?
I'll leave that on top.
I'm gonna fetch.
I believe that was stock up taken.
Raining blows.
I have Delirium now. 3.
Confirmed it was stock up.
Oh, on the series.
Another Undercity Sewers. We're going to Surveil again.
Yeah.
Modes. Swamp.
Seems like a reasonable conclusion to me. I'm playing Espervile, I guess, but
Yeah, 100%. It's definitely not. My creatures top at like 3 2s and 2
I even have the Psychic Frog playmat.
How many cards?
Jack has a Psychic Frog playmat.
No, I just
What about the frog?
Yes.
it's kind of important.
You declare the trigger, so you cannot miss it.
I'll leave that on top.
Alright. No harm.
Brainstorm.
Same.
Brainstorm happening.
All item will target you. Sure. I'll leave it on top. Oh, what force?
We're not labeled as Overwatch, are we? Did something go wrong?
Oh, I'm dumb. Big dumb. Like that. Pester.
3.
Barrogoyf off the top.
5 by my counts.
Card's good. Entomb. Okay, so this is Reanimator. I honestly didn't know when we started what this was, but this is Reanimator.
Archon.
Sounds reasonable.
The sewers made it a little bit more obvious, but I still wasn't completely clear. But it'll be Archon of Cruelty dumped into the trash.
One in your hand.
I think it went into hand by mistake.
If it's in your hand, it's a very bad card.
All right, we fixed it.
It's a lot worse in this case,
It's
actually.
a lot worse. I would be fine with
You kind of need it in the graveyard. That would be a lot worse. And the Reanimate on Archon gets the scoop. Jack takes game 1.
that. Format?
I had to force
What
the
is this
Torpor
stuff?
Orb.
All of the Reanimator triggers, the
Okay.
Thassa's Oracles, the 3 combo decks play.
I will keep. Oh, wait, whoops.
Yeah, but it doesn't stop not.
Okay, it doesn't, okay, sorry.
No,
a 2-drop doesn't stop all of the cards in the format. It stops like 90%.
Well, but like-
I'll keep it this way. Okay. I'm gonna fetch an island.
All right, we're underway for game 2. Fetching an island with Polluted Delta and a Ponder hits the stack. Now Audrey knows what he's up against. It's likely Jack knows what he's up against. Sideboarding has happened. One of the best things you can do in Magic the Gathering is sideboard in stuff that completely crushes your opponent's strategy. Wow.
It's Trinisphere, don't worry. Or, sorry. I didn't bring Entire Memory today, so you're in luck. I was not expecting to play.
I guess Jack's still thinking here. All right, Mr. Rainforest gets correct. High train complete, 9 subs. Thank you, everybody. And I earned a hype chest. And it's all very exciting.
I should have.
So Thoughtseize hit the stack. Fairy Macabre, Torpor Orb, Opposition Agent, nasty one, and Shieldred's Edict. Urborg and Swamp as well. Can't take those with Thoughtseize, though. Thoughtseize should be able to take lands. Come on.
Good luck.
Take a Torpor Orb.
Taking the play. Yeah.
All right, Torpor Orb is selected. Which is interesting. Fairy Macabre obviously disrupts the Reanimator stuff. Torpor Orb stops Atraxa's ETB, as we used to call it. Here's Unlicensed Hearse. That's a good one.
Yeah, it resolves.
I think some Legacy players forgot about the Hearse. I like this card. Pulling, reminding us of the existence of Encroach. That's a wasteland on Jack's side. If Jack's trying to reanimate, he might be in trouble here. The another Thoughtseize, okay.
Edict.
Goes after Shieldred's Edict, okay. There's a chance Jack's plan is not to reanimate a creature in this game, though.
These are all excellent.
Okay, unless it's Hearse doing its thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I forgot.
I only have 2.
I really like Unlicensed Hearse, but like small, tiny complaint, it's a little bit of a pain in the butt to keep track of sometimes.
Yeah.
Trigger. Yeah. Thank you for 2.
Oh, actually, I guess you can have a
Mom will
single
target you.
I don't even know if that qualifies as a complaint, more just a comment.
Play Urborg and just play the Equation.
Okay, get a sorcery speed opposition agent here.
Drop. We will.
Whoa, that was a scary laugh in the background.
Oh, that's frustrating.
Trigger.
Yeah, you could put the cards under the hearse and whatever, but I just find the card a little bit annoying to keep track of.
We will force pitching to draw.
All right, force pitching Tameo, and opposition agent will be countered. All right, Darth is seeing some things I didn't see. Apparently there's an Entomb in hand. Maybe the plan for Jack here was to reanimate a creature, but that doesn't look like it's going to happen. At least not very easily.
Very macabre.
All right, another discard spell takes Fairy Macabre. So that's 3 cards removed from the hand in this game. Urborg blows up blown up by Wasteland.
Instant.
All right, passing the turn. Just dress down in an unknown card in Audrey's hand. If it's a Dreadnought, could be a good situation.
Just my pass turn.
Lance.
Sometimes, dress down getting flashed in.
Before the lock.
Audrey fetching here. Is it going to be a Null Drifter? Monka TG, thank you for the resub. 62 months for Monka TG. That's the longest Monka has committed to anything.
5 lands. It's gonna be fine.
Go ahead.
All right, just to stock up here. Seems like maybe we're in the clear as far as Dreadnoughts.
Called it.
62 months, a long time. 90s MTG, been around for a while now.
Sure.
What's up? Yep. Go ahead.
All right, dress down goes away. I didn't do a whole lot. Just kind of cycled it away. Surveilling now with Undercity Sewer. Dumps a fetch land.
All of them?
Why? No, waste your UC.
Just because you like it like that?
Okay, Wasteland gets fired off. That makes sense. Adam, thank you for the resub with Prime. 24 months and a new badge. 2 years. Thank you, thank you. All right, there's a Torpor Orb. That's not too bad.
Go ahead.
For that reason, it worked.
Pass turn.
Take 2 of my lands. Jump.
Pretty neat. True. Leave on top.
There's a Phyrexian Dreadnought.
Plus.
Brainstorm. There's 2 prowess triggers right now.
Okay, we are going to game 3. So far in this match, both players have done the thing that their deck does, and let's see how it goes in game 3.
No, I needed the.
You need mana. Mana.
By the way, over the weekend at the Pro Tour and the Magicon, there were some previews of upcoming sets.
To get these.
Some stuff from Edge of Eternities. Set looks really cool. Some small previews of Avatar. Further down the road, though, 2026, they said we're going back to Lorwyn and we're going back to Strixhaven. Which of those two are you more excited about, Lorwyn or Strixhaven? I'm genuinely curious what people have to say. Which of those two are you more excited about?
No, making mana for me is
Strand.
Tamio got pushed, by the way.
Pass turn.
I don't usually do this.
All right, there's another one.
It's good against reanimator.
I wanted to try. I mean, it cuts like DRC and
DRC and Murktide, yeah.
Murktide.
All right, it seems like people in the chat are choosing Lorwyn. This might make a good YouTube poll, actually.
You also have planar nexuses too, so you can cast them.
Yep. I can get the
Yeah.
blasted and have the bad
Okay, attacking with Tamio, not tapping the placeholder card. I believe that's a violation.
I can never cast 2 spells in one turn with that card.
Oh God, I hope they don't reprint Painter Servant. Ugh.
What is that on top?
Actually, it might be a special guest, right? It needs a reprint. Calling it now.
Having the ley line in hand was also good, and I
Yeah.
What other card would be Lorwyn special guest? Painter. I guarantee it. Painter has to be one of them.
So I had all the things in the
So now Audrey will surveil with the sewers.
time, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I like
You
it.
don't grab this.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, that makes sense. It's also
Oh, Painter combo on Arena. Wait, is Grindstone is on Arena. Oh shoot.
yeah.
Yeah, Bitter Blossom might be in there. Although Bitter Blossom was already recently printed in something, wasn't it?
Yeah. This makes sense.
Sure.
Yeah, you don't really need this card. No, this card.
Or another Fatal Push gets rid of another Tamio.
I can pull this, I can pull this, this is...
That's like your worst command mono to
Something,
begin
but-
with. So.
Ponder
I
shuffle.
wasn't able to cast it anyway.
Ponder is originally from Lorwyn. That's true. That's true.
Yeah, you can do that.
What about like Shadowmoor Eventide stuff? Is there anything? What from those sets is legacy playable at this point? There's probably something super obvious I'm forgetting.
The 4 by my count.
There's a Baraglyph.
I mean, I won against them
Creature,
casting
Creature lands.
fucking wall of reanimate.
I heard about that. Yeah.
It was,
yeah, it's
it was the win of the night. Yeah, the 3-0 of the night, it was that.
Other than Painter, we already mentioned Painter.
Enjoy.
Dude, Warping Wailing Reanimate is amazing. It only counters.
Gadak Teague. Oh, Gadak Teague might be a special guest.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Counter Ponder, counter Prismatic,
And then I'm gonna animate that hammer.
Show and tell. Yeah.
Ooh, Fatal Push on Baraglyph and then an Animate Dead. So Baraglyph might be switching sides here.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Fatal Push.
You never really expect to counter spell for
Manamorphose is a good one.
You go first.
That's. I didn't want to play the green.
Yeah.
I keep it.
Yeah.
Me too.
I don't have to reveal anything, right? It's me.
All right, Surgical's their own Baraglyph now as Audrey to protect himself from the Baraglyph. Jack was trying to animate dead the Baraglyph, try to steal a game here, but didn't work that time. Stock up, okay.
Force pitching Brazen Borrower.
It's fine.
Force pitching Brazen Borrower. Okay, we're seeing some. Is that tempo?
So easy. I never have to think about if I should force it. The answer is literally always yes.
It's always yes.
Two cards in hand or 3? 2 cards. Okay. We'll play Pony Delta Pester.
Oh, Fair Macabre is from Shadowmoor. Maybe we'll get a cool version of that. That's a good call.
I mean, useless.
All right, another stock up. Crack the clue in response. And it resolves. All right, so we got a stock up in. This is a pretty good game 3.
15.
Can't really tell right now who's going to win this one. Maybe Audrey's slightly out on cards at the moment.
2 and a blue and 1 floating. No stop.
Yep.
Draw.
Response.
Well, Dress Down plus Dreadnought just happened.
I'm gonna petty theft the dress down. Not the ideal.
Good plays here. Petty Theft on the Dress Down. Dreadnought kills itself. Brazen Borrower goes on an adventure using the top half of the deck box to indicate adventure. Very interesting technique. Audrey says, controversial opinion, I want more companions. And Salty saying more companions would be sick if they were more balanced. I think potentially they could make companions that are better calibrated or whatever and aren't an issue. I just don't know if there's an appetite for it right now. I would like it. Audrey would like it, but most Magic folk I come across have a, I don't know. They have like a big reaction to companions. They're very upset about the whole thing.
I realize what I've done here. Faster.
A lot of this stuff, like people take it so personally. Like the companions were like designed to ruin people's lives or something.
Artifact, creature, sorcery, instant, land, enchantment.
All right, so Audrey has a Baraglyph.
Thoughts, yes?
Another thought sees Torpor Orb, Force of Will, Dress Down. Force of Will is taken.
Pass turn.
Combat. 16, trigger.
Ooh, a Hold Breacher. That's a nasty one.
No choice.
Hold Breacher moves to hand. That's it's pretty gross.
Oh, wondering. No.
Okay, Brazen Borrower gets flashed in.
You got this.
And there's a fist bump. Audrey's Barrowglyph plus Hold Breacher end the game. GG's. GG's.
Very small percentage of players that like to play Simic
Minimal.
with like Murktide. Who you
Competitively viable.
Okay.
No. Shonen.
Well, yeah, Omnitel. Yeah, Omnitel. But I see what it-
Mystic Forge on the left. That would be David. On the right, we have Adam on Teamer Delver.
Secrets.
Duo? Nobody's done it yet, though. That's not it. That's not the first one. That gives you the game.
Urza's Tower, past the turn. I absolutely love Urza's Tower, seeing some legacy play here in 2025. Ardurias in the chat says, just saying hello, so you use the Meddling Mages playmat. Yes, got gifted a playmat by the Meddling Mages crew, and been rocking it. Here's an Insectile Aberration. Dragon's Rage Channeler, okay. Getting the offense up and running ASAP. Ponder.
Right? Yeah, oh, totally. They're going to make it 1 minute, 2 case. In fact.
Yeah. There, it is kind of like Eldrazi Tron on the left.
It doesn't work with pump spells. It doesn't work with pump spells. Yeah. The difference between or in check on them would be great.
Yeah, but like you can have just have.
Back when I played Modern all the time, I used to play a lot of Modern. Eldrazi Tron was, I would say, my main deck. I love that thing.
Faster.
Planar Nexus, okay. Lotus Petal. And Karn, the Great Creator.
Do you want to share this?
Sure. Yes.
We can share it. I'll also just keep it.
Force pitching Murktide. Karn is countered.
Yeah, I'm just happy it doesn't keep booting me out every time.
Then I'll follow you. Okay. Untap. Draw my upkeep. Draw for turn. Good. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Okay. Move comments after 6.
Okay, big attack. The Dragon's Rage Channeler has Delirious. Another Delver. Well, this could be David's last turn of the game already. With a Lightning Bolt, this thing might be over. Ooh, Urza's mine. A 1 ring. Okay. Well, that slows things down a little bit.
The old life.
Underground Sea, then Belfast Tricks.
What's Urza's mine doing there?
Do you have Chaos Orb dice? It's where you keep flipping the dice over and over until it lands on turn. It takes a while. Some people
All right, Thundering Falls, Surveil.
spiritually cut.
Yeah, I've cast some Karn Liberated in my day. Ah, that card was fun. Ugin the Spirit Dragon.
I'll bin that.
Yep.
Tap. Keep.
Yep.
My days are
All right, Days revealed. That'll flip the Delver. Not going to be able to do much damage this turn. Dragon's Rage Channeler will still try to attack, though.
Play for turn.
Yep.
Pass turn.
Lose one.
Well, I guess that was a miss, but it's not super important.
So like this. Draw. I'll get a basic swamp. I go to 19.
Torn. Yeah.
Power plan. Wow.
Bowmaster.
I also betrayed you in green armor. Cast few goblins instead of blue armor.
Wow, that's a hard.
Oh, this is Ugin. What is it called? Ugin. New Ugin.
Battle. Yeah, this one or this one?
I'll force pitching brainstorm.
Yeah. Cheers, boys. Yeah.
You tell me that that's better than like
Ugin, Eye of the Storms. I couldn't think of the name. It's the Tarkir Dragonstorm Ugin.
mine.
Yep.
Oh, sorry, I go to 7.
Yep.
Go ahead. Let's go to game 2.
Sheesh. Moving on to game 2. Well, that was something.
I'm gonna have you.
I thought this was Mystic Forge, friends, but maybe this is something else. Either way, I'm sorry, Adam. It was super satisfying seeing the tower power plant mine combo. Oh man, very satisfying. People just don't know my Urza land history. It's part of 90s MTG lore.
3 4 droppings.
I will bobble you. Okay.
There's a Saga on top of the deck.
Did you see what Jerry Thompson trophy with?
Take 3.
Okay, Ancient Tomb, Lotus Petal, Grim Monolith,
Okay.
Manifold Key,
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna cling to dust. Eat it.
Can I read it?
Mystic Forge. Okay, I was right the first time. So Mystic Forge on the stack. Gonna pitch a Delver to a Force of Negation. It will be exiled.
I will keep that on top. Yep.
What's Switch Flame? Something?
Yeah, Karn can grab the Mystic Forge from exile. The exile actually kind of helps David here in a way. Oh, was there? Yeah, I guess there's been damage missed from the Ancient Tomb. I don't know if the players are. I'm not really sure if players are writing down life totals off to the side. Sometimes that happens, and then they update the digital later. Something was just updated.
15, 14.
It's 1.
Yeah, so it's just and then,
I don't know.
Corey's 2, right?
Yep. Go.
Set fetch and make a servo.
Okay.
I always make a point of saying, because sometimes I see people at comp REL events, like keeping track of life totals with their phone or something. Pen and pad beats these digital life counters every time. They're just great for spectators watching a match on stream like we are right now.
Dude, it's like I always screw it up every time.
I'm scared of them.
Right.
1 in hand.
Yep.
Yes, turn.
All right, another Dragon's Rage Channeler. Getting those 3-power flyers up and running as soon as possible. Very important. Last game, though, presenting almost lethal. Couldn't get there.
A plus.
Untap this. Yep. 2.
I'll do access 3.
Yep.
Exile and remove card from the graveyard.
Okay. You take 2 right from.
I
yeah.
will take.
And then I'll trigger.
Moving to my.
We're just pitching Murktide on a Kozilek's command. It was trying to remove a Dragon's Rage Channeler empty out the graveyard a bit.
So you take.
Keep that on top.
So how much did you
Okay.
take?
Is that upkeep drop? Attack for 6.
All right, David drops to 7. Here's a brainstorm.
Yeah, 2-3. It's basically Yuriko, but does it.
Darth hoping for an Ugin off the top.
Yuriko just puts.
Put these 2 back on top.
That's true. You can choose a lot of things.
Pass turn.
Okay, another Dragon's Rage Channeler. Okay, we are going to game 3.
That thought of will save
What if they made us only play single?
Now David will be on the play.
Yeah.
Manifold Key.
I was also playing during the time. How long do you think
So it really was a 75 card mirror. I only saw the breakfast out of here.
Well, pass turn.
All right, so it seems like Adam has just a reactive hand here. Plays a Voltaic Key. David does. Passes the turn. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Okay, that's something.
I was like, this is fun for anybody.
And a Surveil land. Interesting. Another Manifold Key. Warping Whale.
How many cards in hand?
That's pretty well.
The Dragon's Rage Channeler is exiled. Warping Whale. It looks like damage on Ancient Tomb was missed again. That needs to be kept track of. Both players are missing that. That's not good.
What specific MDFCs they use so you can try to guess their pivot better? It's got to be one burn place. Because if it's
All right, seems like maybe it's getting fixed now. The One Ring, though, getting consigned to memory.
that's unfortunately this is what it comes to.
Before this was Eldrazi, which used to for that,
Okay.
the white,
My turn. So you have 2 cards in hand? At the end of your turn, I'm gonna.
Yeah, Grim Monolith would be pretty insane here. Of course, if it can be followed up by a high mana value card. Have most of the people watching seen the new Tezzeret from Edge of Eternities? Edge of Eternities looking awesome, in my opinion. Is that card legacy playable, the new Tezzeret? Does anybody have any thoughts on that?
Creature land.
Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Okay, Bolt to the Face, Surveil. Darth saying Ugin's in hand. Darth is seeing all the hand cards.
Attack for 1. Pass turn.
All right, just an attack for 1 here from the Dragon's Rage Channeler. Twitch chat thinking new Tezzeret looks great. It's another Urza's Tower, different art, but same card. There's too many versions.
Good combat. This dude.
How come now they have to make 4 different versions of every card?
And pass turn.
Alright, that's a power plant, and here is Ugin, Eye of the Storms. And there's a Price of Progress in response. Oh my goodness. Alright. Adam steals the game with Price of Progress. GG's. Adam is the winner. Wow. Gabe on the left with Is It Cutter? Is It Tempo? And on the right, we have Derek on Mono Black. We'll see what Derek is up to. I don't know what's in here.
Are you in the top? You're in top 8, right?
Yeah, I went 3 times. I went 2-1, 3-0, 3-0. So that's 8 points. 2 points. I think it should be. I'll go next week just to make sure.
Yeah, I'm just now going just to try to like make a record for like the most points in the season. That's all I'm doing right now. Because I know I already have it locked.
Yeah.
Go ahead. First time ever winning something. It's really cool.
That's dope.
Very gracious for it. Looking for the top 8.
All right, Derek is winning something. Players getting ready to go. All players got the pen and pad ready to go. We were talking about that last round.
1-2.
Yep. 19. I'll put a die in it just so you know.
And every time I've always been like, wow, I'm right.
Damien?
Always a pleasure, brother.
Yes. Pass two. Okay. I'm going to switch.
I'll try it.
Days. Go ahead. It's
No?
Fetch.
That's
Okay.
that's all.
Okay, Flooded Strength gets cracked here. Derek, with these mono black decks, tends to run a who's who of destructive black cards, opposition agent, one of them. Is it Thundering Fall, Surveil?
I'm just gonna. I'll wait to see. I'm not picking up my deck because then I look dumb. If I pick up my deck and you go Dark Red Off Agent, then I have to hand it to you.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Trigger. Go ahead.
I had to bring it back.
I'll leave that on. Go to my turn.
Yeah, Dark Ritual opposition agent might have been something Derek was considering there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Here's Is It Cutter? Corey Steel Cutter. Mishra's Bauble, trigger, make a monk.
Cool. You're about to see it. So, pass turn. Keep draw.
I'll take the swords. First at 3.
Corey Steel Cutter, a key card in the standard metagame right now. It was all over the place at the Pro Tour over the weekend, at least of the matches I saw. Card is good in Legacy too.
I'll play the Masters.
Sure.
There's Bowmasters.
I'm at 18.
I'm gonna pass after that.
I'll push my like an Tamia.
Yeah.
Tamia's go. So what do you? Yep. Pass two.
Looks like that Corey Steel Cutter is equipped to a Boshin roll. Alright, Unholy Heat takes out Bowmaster, 1 prowess trigger. Ponder. They should just make a new version of Ponder called Power.
That's fine.
Makes another monk. Quips.
Play land for turn. Attack here for 5.
I'll block the one that doesn't have trample. I'll take 2.
Yeah, 16. Go ahead.
Let's have a keep draw. Talking about go.
Okay, Takanuma, I believe it's called the Abandoned Mire card. We don't see as much in Legacy. Of course, there's a plane with that name. It's one of the channel cards from Neon Dynasty.
Trigger prowess.
I'm gonna respond.
Another Core Steel Cutter.
Thank you. Sure. Before the ponder results, also.
This could get out of hand.
I'll channel it. Ponder's good.
How many cards?
I have 5.
5 cards in Derek's hand in response to the Core Steel Cutter and the prowess trigger. We're seeing a Bowmaster. We're going to try and eliminate a monk here.
And then you're good.
Cutter good.
Yep.
In response to this one.
Okay, so then the Corey Steel Cutter will resolve. And I guess we're going to see 2 more monks get made here.
When you're on a teacher budget, these are really cool.
We actually have a really good friend with the teacher as well.
I'll target you.
Me?
Yeah, either 13 prowess trigger.
Okay, bolt to the face. Some prowess trigger. Some flurry trigger.
So this is a 3/3. These are 2/2s with trample and haste.
That's fine.
Combat tech or
I'll block the one without blocking the example. I'll take 4. Sure.
Okay, chump blocking and then taking 4, dropping to 9. Derek needs what? Double Plague Engineer? It's an ancient tomb. Life total getting a little low. Bioblight, yeah.
7.
Passageway Seer.
Passageway Seer. Okay, going to try to take the initiative potentially.
How many?
4.
4 cards left in Derek's hand. Taking the initiative against these cutter decks, not the best. Passageway Seer does have lifelink, and it would be a 3/3 when the turn ends. Pretty hard to keep the initiative against the cutter deck, though.
3/3.
Haru says, Cutter such a balanced card.
Oh, force. Pitch. Force.
Force pitching force on the Passageway Seer. It's countered.
I'll just pass. How many cards in hand?
1.
Alright, so you have 2 in a second. Alright, cool. Yep.
Okay, 2 cards in hand for Gabe at the moment. Another flurry could be game winning.
Stockup's good.
Fetch.
Yep. You're,
All right, one of the cards is a land.
Fast two.
you should be at, I'm at 7.
Oh, yeah, you're at 7. You're at 7. I'm the 2. Okay. Cast Mechanic Reject.
Retide's good.
It'll be
Murktide is pretty good. Here's Murktide Regent.
Sure.
equip a cutter. Attack you.
Equipping it with a cutter and attacking.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
All right, game 1 goes to Gabe.
Hey, man, let's go.
It's good quality for the nice.
Not really gonna get me.
Thanks a lot, Wizards, for making us play with equipment. Nobody asked for that.
Couple of those angels.
I was. Well, no, I cut the Griever, so I went up.
Oh, okay.
If it wasn't for Cousin Griever, I'd still play that.
Didn't they learn their lesson from Umizawa's Jitte and Skull Clamp challenge? Making us play with equipment. Such a mistake.
Okay.
Me too.
That's what some of you sound like. All right, 1 card on the bottom for Gabe. You're ready to go. 1 card on the bottom for Derek as well. So most of 6 for both.
Go.
Yeah, you hit both my
It's because the artist is
Salty says, watch the PT this weekend. Cutter is busted in standard. It might be. It might be. Certainly seems that way. But, you know, over the last 5 years, there's been a lot of discussion about standard is dead. Standard is nobody plays it anymore. Standard. And now standard pretty popular again. About to hit its first big rotation in a while. And I don't know. I'm just glad to see people jamming standard. I like standard.
What?
As a concept. Ravenloft Adventurer.
And quite a minute with this, but I'm going to take the initiative. So I'll give you red. This is magnetized, by the way, so it's going to be a little bit it's like this. So I'm going to go.
Derek with a fancy Undercity oversized token, by the way, that has a 3D printed magnetic board game holder thing.
The black man, I'll just pass.
Derek just does not mess around. Darth says, am I the only one who thinks initiative is sweet? You know what? I like it. I like it. I know like half the audience just left because I said so, but I like it.
Cool. Something different.
Trigger.
Yep.
Land him.
Yep.
Put on my turn.
Yep.
I think though, where I kind of am different than a lot of you. I've kind of just accepted like Legacy doesn't make a lot of sense, and like mechanics like Initiative, I simultaneously like playing with the Initiative cards and understand it doesn't make a lot of sense for a 1v1 game. I've just kind of accepted Legacy's unhingedness, and I'm just like, I don't get stressed about it. It's fine.
I should be at 13. I'm gonna put 2+1/+1 counters onto this and try to mark this right.
Like Legacy just does not make as much sense from a game design standpoint as Standard does. And when I think about it that way, it's just like, why stress all the, you know?
Second phase.
We have the ban announcement coming up. People talking about which 16 cards need to be banned. I just stay out of it. I don't know. Do whatever. I barely care. Phyrexian Crusader, that's a nasty one.
Pro red and white, right?
Pro red, white, exact.
I will.
Yep.
Derek has gotten me a few times with this Phyrexian Crusader.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
It is kind of mean. Back when Boros Initiative was popular, Derek was playing this freaking Phyrexian Crusader, and man, this thing hits hard. It is hard to kill, hard to beat.
Yeah.
Exactly. Haru hit the nail on the head. No one is designing Legacy unlike Modern and Standard. Now, people are going to jump in here and like insert themselves. Modern and Standard are messed up too. Okay, those shouldn't be messed up. I agree with you.
Waste your two.
That's fine.
But for Legacy, it's like, I mean, what are we talking about? We got freaking Ancient Tomb and Brainstorm, all these unhinged old cards.
I'll ping you for one. Yep. Before you untap, I'm going to search the bonus. I'm going to
Tabernacle.
good upkeep. Ping you for one. Cards.
Ill-Gotten Game says, thanks for the ongoing content. Magic is dead.
Fetch, 1, 2 pings, so 16.
Robert's with a great question. Why does it always come back to hating on Tabernacle? I just don't think we need cards legal in our format, and we're like trying to fire events and stuff, and the cards are like selling for that amount. It's just crazy. Kiviuk says, would you rather face Crusader or Obliterator? How about Phyrexian Negator? Let's do that.
That's fine.
All right, a Daze on a Ravenloft Adventure. It is countered. Chromox has a Orcish Bowmaster imprinted.
Thank you for John getting the bonus. Bowmaster set. Yep.
I have no cards in hand.
I mean, you know, Robert's saying they agree. If we were serious about starting up a whole Legacy circuit, having them be full of people, having college-age competitors like on the Pro Tour, having stuff regularly firing, we would ban cards like Tabernacle. Like let's be for real.
There's 2 Proud Triggers on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unbeatable.
I will attack you for 3.
Block.
Sure. So
So first strike damage will take
right, so Phyrexian
He'll have 2 -1/-1 counters.
Crusader is going to block here. There is trample though.
And then nothing happens.
Mr. Art says 2 words for you, proxy friendly. Yeah, I know that's nice and everything, but like we've had the vintage format for a long time. Proxies are like not really helping that too much. I don't know. I'm just not much of a believer that we can get like a whole circuit of global, proxy friendly legacy tournaments up and running. And prior to whenever that was, when they stopped having legacy Grand Prix, they fed the Pro Tour. We could go back to that. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, Mosh, thank you for the resub with Prime, 3 months.
I'll make you sign
Moving on here.
Have fun, of course.
Best of luck.
You're good. Yeah.
And new sleeves.
Yep, new sleeve syndrome. I have that too with this.
Yeah, it's definitely good.
I'll try it.
Yeah, I was like, both the games I lost, I was like, hold up.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I think, I just need to put I was really big fan.
Yeah, I think last Legacy GP was 2018.
Yep.
Also, I think every once in a while I'll read like some 3-paragraph take on Reddit or something where people are like, "How come Wizards doesn't allow proxies?" And it's like, are you people for real?
I'll get a ball because I cutter.
Cutter's good.
That's right.
Just not serious opinions. Sorry.
I'm gonna just pass.
Mr. Art says we organize monthly 1Ks that are proxy friendly and they sell out. That's great. Like I'm actually for that. I'm talking about like an SCG circuit kind of thing with another big legacy tournament with 1,000 players every other weekend. That's what I'm talking about. Or whatever was going on prior to 2018. All right, here's Core Steel Cutter. I don't want to train wreck the stream talking about bans and proxies again. But here we are.
I can tap for black.
You got was it the underground scene out there?
Yes.
Wasteland, you're untapped.
I know you have a force in there.
Maybe.
I'll force and Comox.
This would be the clue. I'm gonna
All right, there's a Chromox.
pass two. Thank you.
Robert says, I like watching pre-2018 SCGs. Felt like I could connect and support the players. Now I know 0 players. Yeah, a lot of that was like the production and stuff. Kind of ongoing story.
Put long goodbye on it.
Very intentional. Long Goodbye imprinted on Chromox.
Ravenloft Venture. That's fine.
Ravenloft Adventurers getting dazed.
Nice form.
I have to say, with 2 cutters on the other side of the battlefield, it might be better that the Ravenloft Adventurer was dazed. You do not want to take the initiative against these cutter decks, in my opinion. They're too good at taking it away and then blocking.
DRC?
DRC is fine. You have 3, right?
Okay, there's Dragon's Rage Channeler. 3 types. Preordain. Trigger the cutters. Make some monks.
Let me resolve all this. Good. I'll put DRC in my graveyard.
Dumps to DRC. We're going to have Delirium here.
Down check by that range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep. Pass two.
Yeah, now time for 4.
16.
I'm
not used.
You haven't done anything yet.
Nothing,
I
yeah.
fetched.
Yeah.
So I'm a 19 or 16. Yes.
I'll think of magic I need to.
Draw.
All right, Derek is at 16. The life counter on the table hasn't been updated yet. Owl Bear Samurai says, was DRC tested for 1v1? No, they like designed the card and printed it same day. They don't test anything anymore. They don't have time for that. They don't care about us. It's all like all these cards, like Dragon's Rage Channeler was a personal attack on me, honestly.
Yep.
So Derek has an Urborg, 5 total mana on the board. One of the swamps is snow covered, which is mildly interesting. 4 cards in hand, facing down a lot of creatures on the other side, taking the initiative, not ideal at the moment. Paragoyf, not too bad though. That's not too bad.
It's currently a 4/5.
It would be 4/5 potentially. Creature instant sorcery.
Yeah, that's good.
Go.
I'll draw. Three in hand.
3.
3 cards left in Derek's hand.
Yeah.
How many counter spells in hand?
2.
Yeah, you got me.
Yeah, a lot of people talking about bans coming up. I don't know.
I'm curious about your thoughts about this. So my sideboarding, I basically was thinking I'd rather have force.
I'll remind everybody, no matter what they ban, they could do the best ban unban ever. A couple of weeks later, people will be complaining again. I guarantee it. They're never going to be satisfied. Never. It's just impossible. So don't get your hopes up and don't stress yourself out.
Well, your ability to like get terminus on top. I think if I can get a couple threats on board to just
Seeing all the takes get posted again. We need to ban this card, ban that card. It's obvious Entomb needs to go and whatever. What about the play patterns? If we just ban these 16 cards, okay.
And there's gonna
It's all just so exhausting.
like you're going to be put to the test on like
I'm going to FNM no matter what they do with the ban. I'll be at FNM. I'll see everybody there.
brainstorm is based in this spot because
I'm going regardless.
on like when you can time things. Yeah. So like
There's a Murktide.
brainstorm, and if you fight over the brainstorm, I'm like, oh, that's so much better because I was just trying to fade the Bowmaster so I could interact in a way that's like on my terms rather than yours. You know, like the whole matchup revolves around Bowmaster.
Yeah.
And so I think that like anything that's going to help Bowmaster be better than the.
All right, more monks. Hype Train Dr. Pepper says going and having fun. Yeah.
From my side of the table, I would rather like you be sitting with reaction as opposed to something like Thoughtseize that can like strip the thing Bowmaster does and lock me out. Because Bowmaster like blanks so many text boxes that it's like if you Thoughtseize, take the thing that would remove the Bowmaster, leave me with a bunch of stuff that I can't.
Ramalita with a great question. How does Derek win? It's looking pretty bad. Plague Engineer could help him.
My best thing that I can do is Beanstalk. Your best thing is Bowmaster.
Plague Engineer on human on this next turn, or on monk, could be decent.
Over things, but the only things that really matter are: do I have a Beanstalk on the table? Do you have a Bowmaster on the table?
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, Fatal Push obviously not great. Days on the draw, not really. And then, as I said, I was taking out the Thoughtseize just to get more with these. But no, that makes a lot of sense where you want to keep in Thoughtseize over that. Maybe cut 2.
Graveyard was exiled for Delve for Murktide.
You fighting over my Mystic Sanctuary means that you are like at that point you're respecting what I'm doing, and I think like all that you need to like I think like
Yeah, you can hear Phil at the next table talking about Bowmasters and whatever.
two things that I fear. It's Bowmaster.
Whatever they're talking about. I don't even know.
And then like way down, I care about Tamiya ultimating. But like once you flip it, there's like a ton of time to prismatic ending it. So like it's much less of a threat to me than what Bowmaster is. And then everything else is
no
not.
loss because of the.
That's why I would have to brainstorm it. I'm not going to get doubles with it. Let's just get one more card out of it.
Oh, I actually think the best way to play Tamiya against me is to like never flip it. Just like
All Baragwave currently at 2 power.
At that point, I have the Terminus is like compelling me to act there. Like I'm not going to let it sit in my hand without another way to put it back.
These are all 2
So like, I'll fire it out there. Okay, yeah, you have I'm like, if these were prismatic or swords, I'm not firing that off. Like, there's no way. And so like, if we essentially poured each other to the point where like you just spend turns not acting because you want to like
Meat Hook Massacre
have this game on the table, and then if you commit more to
Meat Hook Massacre for 2.
at least I'm catching a bunch of things with the Terminus. It's like the paradigm of like mattering is if I have a Beanstalk and I can Terminus, then I don't go down the card. If you have anything plus another void,
Meat Hook Massacre. Do Legacy players even know this card exists?
Terminus 1/1 at least. It gets a 2/2.
I think that like it depends. Like in this case, like particularly because I'm on Beanstalk, I think that like it's a Bowmaster, like your Bowmaster and cards.
It's getting dazed.
I could see this being a plan.
I'll pay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm super
Because you're like, oh, I need to just cut him off with Terminus. This thing is a singular threat that's good enough.
So it's
that's okay.
yeah, trigger
Same thing with
first.
this. Like, I think like these things is like singular threats that like snowball if I don't have Terminus. It's like these plus this. But when it comes to like anything like for Bowmaster, Bowmaster comes in at instant speed, so you don't have to commit. You do it on your own terms. And so like.
So then
That's how I
both
would
sides
think. So if you're not going to be on
this
these,
has
then I don't
2
think that
minus
these
2
are
on
good unless you think you have more cheap than you need. Like
And
this
what
is cheap
happens
against you,
now?
right? Whereas like these are haymakers because they work so well with that.
I'll go with 6.
And these are just
Let's just go.
Alright, unfortunately, the Meat Hook Massacre text coming up on the screen is not correct. Let me get the correct text for everybody here. Oh, it's the Meat Hook Massacre. Okay. I forgot about the V. There we go. Sorry about that.
The same dance, right? Like it's just like not a thing that is.
Showing Meat Hook Massacre 2. So it's like a Toxic Deluge effect of sorts. Creatures getting -X, -X. X was 2. Whenever creature you control dies, your opponent loses 1 life. When your opponent's creature dies, you gain 1 life.
Like a 5/5 is just not big enough, you know. Like you're.
I guess the gain life was missed.
And then
There was a daze to surveil.
I'll bring it hard.
Like, I have like my
Oh, a 3rd cutter. Okay.
dedicated to just this card. But I wasn't thinking about it because I was like, the build that I brought tonight, I was like, man, I like am playing against Bowmaster, and I also like am like super well in like I'm playing all 12 removal spells and all that stuff, and I still feel pretty anemic to it. Because it's just like. It's not like other tools where it's like the cantrips can help me find the tools when I need it. Like Bowmaster locking that out just means that I have to be more like densely flush with those answers. And then if you are playing what I think is the optimal line, which is I will like literally dump my
All right, brainstorm. Couple of flurry triggers here. Bunch of monks. Despite Meat Hook Massacre, Gabe not in bad shape.
so I need to be more flush, and I still feel pretty anemic. Even with 12 removal spells.
The big thing is just you also can't let
Should be
stuff
3,
like
yeah.
They're going to hang around for too long. Like you take a couple hits, but it will eventually be a big threat.
All right, big attack coming in.
Once we're in the position where every threat is lethal, it's like, okay, yeah, every threat is
Only
lethal.
these 2 are attacking, right?
Positional thing of like, until we get to that point in the game, where it's like,
Yeah, this
the
is
only
3,
thing that is
4,
on my mind, but I'm
Baragwave throwing in front of a 2 prowess trigger monk.
to the point where we're dancing, to where like,
Yeah, I think we lost our connection to Twitch for a moment there. I'm not really sure what happened. Maybe the heat? I don't know.
I'm very happy to like,
6 to 10.
you know,
gain 3
be
to
out of the
7.
life total like I was in
Then we'll
game
look
1.
at those
As long as the
afterwards.
Bowmaster doesn't touch
So you
me,
take
okay.
7.
So go to 9.
Let's play it.
Now
Okay, 7 damage gets through. After the Meat Hook Massacre, Gabe quickly rebuilt with a 3rd cutter. White Cocoa, thank you for the resub.
not effectively cutter.
As long as creatures replace themselves.
And I have 6/6,
So it's
and
like,
this one's
they can draw as many removal spells as they want. But like, that's also part of why it's like, you know, I'm like playing Stock Up is just entirely, I would love to play Brain Surge. Stock Up is just wholly a nod to the fact that I'm already so anemic.
And Mosh, thank you for the resub with Prime. Did I miss that? 3 months?
If you were to line our 2 decks up, it's Beanstalk plus 56 cards versus Bowmaster plus 56 cards.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And the worst part is like
So Derek might need another Meat Hook Massacre. That seems unlikely to happen, though. Passageway Seer taking the initiative. Gonna dig up a swamp.
Like, if I just like fight over whatever, and as long as I'm not dead, then I'm like in the position where you have to like start taking more action. Yeah. To the point where you're also like, I need to commit this Bowmaster to like stop this Beanstalk from going so heavy. Then I'm like, I'll unload my shit on stopping the Bowmaster, and you're like, well, I'll unload my shit to protect the Bowmaster. And I'm like, well, all of my unloading reloaded. Yeah. No, you're unloading. Is now stranded. Now I'll just do it again.
Okay, Bowmasters kills a monk. couple of monks remaining.
You gain one because my creature.
Oh yes, I gained one. Yep,
Unfortunately,
11.
Nethergloive, amazing creature in this matchup, does not care.
Okay, I guess the gain life from the dead creature was caught that time.
It's still relevant enough that, like, especially on the play, it's better. It's like maybe if you're on the draw, like you could argue for one of these, but like, I think that
Math is hard.
it depends because you also have to presume that, like, I'm not doing any type of nothing with your graveyard in any way, like incidentally, you know, like it's tough to bring this, like to bring these guys in without knowing what's coming up.
All my prowess triggers are good.
I mean, if you know my 75 type, but if you went into somebody's line and didn't know exactly what they were doing, like there's a bunch of variable flexings that they might play with, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a monk that's not equipped. 2 monks are equipped. Murktide's still there. It's a 6/6.
Because then he snowballs again. But like,
but then you get
you're
to
not playing to ever get into that.
There's Passageway Seer, 3/3 lifelinker on defense, plus the Orc Army, plus the Orcish Bowmaster. Beat Massacre could make a difference here. Gabe still has 18 life. Derek has the initiative, which could matter quite a bit in this game.
Get to that position, otherwise it's still
This,
You know, my
then
thought with these is
Ponder.
that if you're able to
I
get
think
rid of my
it's still
first
enough.
threat and then Bowmaster,
But I was like, oh, I kind of want to lightning
pretty
bolt
good.
you.
Like, you
Because
need
then
the
I
third
have to
thing,
get
otherwise
2
this
damage
takes
to
over.
you. I don't think
Yeah,
it matters.
my thought is like just
thing-
like
the thing is
basic
creatures
one
are
beyond
dying, and the
like,
abyss-
2-drop, like,
It's this. It's going to change.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it matters. Actually,
like,
I'm not
this
even
is
sure
going
myself
bigger,
right when
and
I'm looking at
these
the
are
line
the
of play.
tools that I would
How the
like-
audience will.
In my seat, I'm happy
No.
for you to spend 3 mana on a singular threat at sorcery speed.
It generally
Like,
might be
that's fantastic.
this.
I
Because
think,
actually,
like,
yeah,
these are
that's
the
probably
things where
right
you take
because
my role.
there's no difference between bolting you
what this
and
is
bolting
for,
this
you know?
because this
That's
is going
where
to
it's
gain you
like-
3 life.
Otherwise,
Yeah,
you
that's
just
all I
need to be
need.
like,
Yeah.
I need to get under it fast
hold
enough that,
that.
like,
Trying to follow the players' discussion here, but the conversation at the next table is a little bit distracting. But I think a bolt on... Okay, so the bolt is happening. Passageway Seer getting hit.
Okay, so
Derek will gain a life from that.
For these.
it was for
Start saying they're more or less agreeing that Derek is dead.
this is all
now your Bowmaster can't kill
So
any
what
of
are
my
the other
creatures
cards that
because
you
it's
were
already
thinking
one
of
prowess.
boarding out in addition to?
Well, yeah, those will happen first before because you haven't drawn the card yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So prowess triggers,
Fatal push, like 4
3 steel cutter,
I can find them.
all of them. I will.
All right, board's getting a little messy. 3 flurry triggers from the cutters after this ponder hits the stack. Some moving things around. There are 3 monks that are not equipped, 3 monks that are equipped.
Draw this.
Sure for this. Now, I want to see there any
depends on
here
what,
that
like,
don't.
Nothing.
When the war becomes about
So those 3 came into play. That was
These all got equipped
universally
before
the
I
thing
drew
that
the
you
card
care
up
about.
on it.
Yeah, I see what you.
Yeah, 3 monks are equipped, so they're safe from the Bowmaster here. 3 monks have a prowess trigger, so it'll just go to the face here, it looks like.
Plus,
Unholy
like, just
Heat.
because you're targeting, and it's also because
Okay, Unholy Heat's not too bad. That'll hit the Orc Army. Now it seems like Derek is in trouble.
Prowess triggers here and here.
so it's like if you just need
Major trouble.
this Foxy or this wasteland.
Yeah, you got me.
Foxy by stripping the white
Just waiting everybody. Yeah, that was good.
All right, Derek's extremely dead, I agree. GG's. Gabe gets it. Well played. Ramalito with a question. Any 90s MTG awards? Best match, most innovative deck, best comeback of all time? Ooh, that's so tough. There have been some epic matches on stream. We've had some really awesome players on stream as well over the years. As most of you that have been hanging out with us for a while, you know, we've seen Reed Duke and Brian Koval and whatever. We've seen so many people on stream, and a lot of those matches are really cool. We have some matches from SCG cons, Legacy 10Ks and 5Ks on our channel, and many of those have been really good. We have a few years back, whenever Beanstalk was new, there was a match between Dominic and Hank in the finals of a 1K. That was a really good match. Those come to mind. From one of our earliest webcam live streams, when 90s MTG first started streaming, it was like peak COVID, so we were only doing webcam. And there was a match between Burn and Turbo Depths that ended up being really wild and a lot of fun. If you're looking for stuff to go back into our archives and look for. Most innovative deck, I think we had at one point a Flubs Shared Fate deck. That was really one of the most innovative decks we've seen ever on stream. That comes to mind. Yeah, we've had some excellent games on stream. I mean, if you're ever bored, definitely go back to our YouTube channel, watch some of the most popular matches of the channel, and I think you're in for a treat with all of them. It's safe to say, at least in my opinion. Yeah, Cutter is pretty good for Legacy. The Vial Smasher deck was pretty cool. I'll agree on that. Okay, we're going to wrap up here. I think maybe the heat is starting to get to the equipment. I don't really know. We'll see everybody soon. Stay cool if you're in the heat wave. Peace out. Stick around for the raid.